As I share some very typical moments in my life, I also want to talk about the things I don't buy as a minimalist. First on my list is trendy home decor, and you will see as I go through my day, there won't be any trendy things happening unless I truly love them. It's so fun to watch videos and look at all the trends, but I try to avoid them unless it's something that I truly love. In general, I tend to buy way less home decor than I used to before we became minimal because I have what I love and I have enough. Another thing I don't buy is anything with artificial smells. So that would be smelly candles, smelly plug-in things. I don't even like fragranced air fresheners. Anything with an artificial smell. I realized that I just did not need to be buying these things. It saves me money and my home smells fine without all of these artificial smells. Another thing I steer clear of is buying fantasy clothing. So that would be clothing for my fantasy self, which in turn is just clothing that I don't ever wear. So that could be a fancy dress that I see at the store and I think looks beautiful, but it just doesn't actually work in my everyday life. That doesn't mean if I go to an event and need a dress for a certain event that I wouldn't purchase one. It just means that I'm not buying clothes all the time for hypothetical events that are probably never going to happen. As I was in my office earlier looking around, I realized that I don't buy fancy office supplies anymore. I used to get sucked into wanting to buy all the fancy pens that I saw, markers and notebooks, and I don't need those items. The only things I've had to replace are the items that I've run out of, which has literally been paper. I had so many pens and pencils when I first decluttered that since 5 years ago, I have not had to purchase any office supplies. I want to mention really quickly too that this list is really about what I personally have stopped buying, not necessarily for our whole family, but for what I used to purchase. So I no longer buy my husband stuff unless he asks me to. I used to be out at the store and I would see a nice shirt, I would get it for him, and then because he didn't pick it out himself, he would never wear it. So I stopped buying him clothes and now I only get him things when he asks me or he tells me he needs something. This is under the same thread, and that is I don't buy my kids toys unless it's a planned purchase, for instance, a birthday or a holiday, or there is a need for something. So if we are out at the store, I do not just get sucked into buying the newest toys or books or just something that catches my attention. I try to really think out purchases and think about if we really need any more toys or books. Baby clothes are literally the cutest thing I have ever seen, and it is so easy to be at Target or at the store and see all the cute outfits that would be perfect for my 1-year-old, but I don't buy them because I know that we function better with less, so he has the things he needs. And of course, the outfits I do get him, I try to pick the cutest ones that I can find, but at the same time, I know that we just do not need every cute outfit that I come in contact with out there. As you can see me tidying up out here, I'm just sweeping up, and that brings me to the next thing I don't buy, which is products that need refills. And I feel when it comes to cleaning products, this is out there so often, which is, for instance, if you buy a Swiffer mop, you have to get the refillable Swiffer refills, and you have to switch those out all the time. Really, it's a one and done thing, and then you need a new one. So I try so hard not to purchase any of those type of products where you can't reuse it. This saves a lot of time and a lot of money. Gonna work in the yard, put my protective gear on. This is one of Grant's shirts, but I think it's good to protect me from the sun, my big old giant hat, because we want to get the front yard a little bit trimmed up and get working on that. I am a member of Costco, and I do like to buy things in bulk because it does save a lot of money. But here's the thing, I no longer buy things in bulk that I am unsure of or that is new to me. So if there is something that we have not tried and know we love, I will not purchase that item in bulk because there have been way too many times where things have gone to waste because we didn't know or were unsure of something and we bought a huge amount of it and didn't use it. Before we became minimal, I had so many purses. My mom used to call me the bag lady. I was always switching around my purse and I had all different colors. But when I became minimal, I decided that I would only have one purse that I used all the time. And recently my old purse broke and I replaced it with this purse, and this has been working fine. I have no other purses, and if this were to break, I would replace it with something else I love, and that is it. So I only have one purse and I no longer buy backup or multiple purses. I try not to buy single-use gadgets, so like an apple cutter or a pineapple corer, anything where I could just use a knife. I try to avoid buying those one-off gadgets that are rarely used. 5 years ago, I decided that I would try to use up all the cleaning supplies that I had. And you will not believe this, but we still have not had to go out and purchase a bunch of cleaning supplies. I think the only thing I've had to buy is toilet cleaner. And I've also realized that most of the time I can clean just using a little bit of soap and water, and that really gets the job done. So I don't go out and purchase all the latest, greatest cleaning supplies anymore. This is something that I never have done and I never will do, which is buy things that I can't afford. I was raised in a very frugal family and I love to be frugal, to be honest, but it is so important for me to stay debt-free. We have no debt besides our mortgage, and it is very important for me to stay that way and also to teach my kids to try to be debt-free and don't buy things that we just can't afford. We no longer use dryer sheets. This goes along the lines of the fragrance thing that I try to avoid, but I just found that dryer sheets really did a lot of damage to my clothes and it had that horrible artificial smell that I absolutely hate. So we stopped using these quite a few years ago, and I don't see a huge difference. I don't have a big problem with static. I do use dryer balls, which just help move everything around, but that's something that we stopped purchasing. At this moment in time, we don't have any streaming services. We used to have a few, but I realized that it was really adding up and we weren't utilizing them as much as I thought we would. Also, we are trying to go with more of a screen-free atmosphere in our home, so we do not have any streaming services at this moment. We still can watch TV through our Roku, all the free stuff, and we also have YouTube on our TV, but we're saving a lot of money by not having all the streaming services. I no longer purchase and store makeup that isn't used in my daily routine, makeup routine, and stuff that I use all the time. I rarely try out new makeup products unless I run out of something, so that has changed in my life. I wear less makeup in general because I just try to simplify my life as much as possible. I no longer feel the pressure to buy all of the newest, latest, greatest kitchen appliances. I know there's so many great things out there, and maybe if I was more of a foodie, I would want these things, but I just find I am pretty good with what I have, and I don't really need a lot of the newest things that are trending in the kitchen appliance realm. We do not eat out very much anymore. We're just trying to avoid all the high costs of eating out. While it is fun, I find we can make a fun atmosphere at home and make our own food, and it's delicious. I feel it's healthier and it does save us a lot of money. This is completely personal to me, but I stopped painting my nails when we became minimalist. It's something so small, but I just felt like I didn't want to spend my time doing that. I didn't want to buy nail polish anymore. And I was just always trying to stop my nails from chipping, and it wasn't something I wanted to do anymore. So that is something that I stopped buying and stopped doing when we became minimal. I'm so glad that we had a more minimal lifestyle and way of thinking when we had our third child, Levi, because we just did not need all the baby stuff. And I got a lot of stuff secondhand, actually free off the side of the road, and that has worked fine for us. And I just realized that I did not need all the baby gadgets that are sold to us that are out there. These are just some of the items that we quit buying to stay more minimal, stay clutter-free, and save a lot more money. I'm gonna leave some videos up here on the screen so you can continue watching. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time.